Hello there everyone, welcome once again to Rerun Videos and welcome back to Vauxhall Stadium. Tonight it's Sky Bet Elite League Knockout Cup action for you and the second leg of the semi-final, the Evening Star Witches and the AF Stock Taking Hammers from Arena Essex. The first leg was last night down there at Purfleet and the Witches came away after a very tense semi. The winners victorious 46 points to the Arena Essex Hammers 43. The rain did its best to rain on the parade. After 8 heats we had quite a heavy shower, but a dust settler more than anything else, and after that conditions were good. Indeed they were good all night, and certainly for the Witches, Hans Anderson, he top scored with 13 last night and not far behind Scott Nichols with 10. Mark Lorham, as you'd expect, leading the way for the Arena Essex Hammers with 11 and 1, although Lee Lanham scored 12 from the reserve berth, and they'll be looking to those two really tonight, Lorham and Lanham, to keep the Hammers' interest in this cup competition alive, as the Hammers will need to win here and win by more than 3 if they want to progress to the final. And the final opponents looking at this stage likely to be Poole, because last night at home at Wimborne Road they demolished Swindon 61-30 in the corresponding first leg there. Swindon racing at home with Poole tonight, so within the stadium here we'll keep everybody up to date. By the time we close this video we should know who's going to contest the 2004 Sky Bet Elite League Knockout Cup. Just one change to the programme lineups tonight, and that is that Dean Barker, so influential in the Hammers team this season, scoring 2 points last night, he's ruled out with a bout of gastroenteritis, and of course we wish him well. And the Hammers have drafted in guest replacement based on gradings, not averages. Adam Shields comes in, and surely he will score more prolifically than Barker would have done round Vauxhall. So that remains to see whether the balance tips in the favour of the Arena Essex Hammers, or whether the Witches have got enough firepower in the tank to reach the cup final, of course. Disappointment for the Witches that they went out of the Elite League after that barnstorming semi-final with Wolverhampton. But if the Witches do go on to meet Poole in the final, it will just give us a taste of maybe what might have been had we have got through to the Elite League Championship playoff final. So all to play for tonight, and say cup competitions normally generate an atmosphere all of their own, so we expect a large crowd here at Vauxhall tonight. And it's October, it's already getting chilly, ground frost forecast for tonight, but it's going to be hot action all the way. We'll join a couple of the riders now in the pits for a chat. Right, we're puffed out. We've just done warm-ups with Kim Jensen. You missed it anyway. Second leg of the cup, we've got a slight lead, 3-point advantage, so it's not over till the fat lady sings.
No, definitely not, you know. It's still Speedway, and I think we're going to make definitely the best out of all the guys tonight to win this one. And yeah, as I said, we have a little bit of advantage with 3 points, and hopefully it's going to be enough.
Determined effort by all the Witches last night. You had a fall in your first one, but seemed to rectify that afterwards.
Yeah, I did a mistake in the first one and fall off the bike, and but the rest was definitely okay.
Arena Essex will be strengthened tonight. They haven't got Dean Barker in the lineup. He's come down with a stomach virus overnight, and Adam Shields guest, so that makes them stronger.
I don't know, really. Yeah, maybe a little bit, you know. It depends. Everybody can have a good and a bad day, so we'll have to wait and see.
So, and after the disappointment of falling out of the Elite League playoff, this is the last silverware, and Witches have got a tremendous history in the cup competition, so it'd be good to claim this prize.
Yeah, it would be nice if we can pass this and go to the final and hopefully beat. I reckon Poole is going to be in the final, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
When the weather's cold like this, does it affect you before or during the meeting? Do you prepare any differently for colder conditions?
No, not really. Just keeping warm, you know, and otherwise it's the same.
We're expecting a big crowd tonight, and so you've really endeared yourself to the Vauxhall faithful, so you'll be turning on the style for them again?
Yeah, of course. I like to enjoy myself, and it's good to have the supports on my side. So.
All right. And you're back in the reserve berth tonight, so you enjoy it down there?
Yeah, I do. Still don't think it's so big difference between being reserve and like number 2 as I used to be. So yeah, I have to make good runs anyway. So hopefully it's going to be a good day.
We hope for plenty of those from you tonight. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, Lee Lanham joins us, captain in the Hammers team tonight. 3 points down after the first leg. Can you do it?
Tough call, I think. We're going to need a big bit of luck, put it that way. But we're not beaten until the end of the meeting, so hopefully we'll hang in there and give them a run for the money.
Your chances enhanced somewhat by the inclusion of Adam Shields, would you say, after Dean Barker's withdrawal today with some gastric problems, we understand?
Yeah, I don't really know too much about it, you know. I just see Adam when I turned up here tonight, a bit of a surprise, but yeah, you know, Shields can be a lot of points, so I think his last visit he weren't so many, so I don't know. It's going to be, you know, Ipswich are a good side this year, and I think not going into it in a negative point of view, but I think you'll come out on top.
Say last chance of silverware for both clubs, of course, and the Witches narrowly missing out on the playoff. So the cup competition always held in high regard, and one everybody wants to win.
Yeah, it's it. You know, obviously, you know, we finished quite low down in the league, and Ipswich just missed out, you know, the other week by a point there, and you know, I think hopefully the best team will win, really, and they deserve to.
But the likely finalist opposition will be Poole. I mean, they completely demolished Swindon last night, so unless Swindon can really turn it on at Blunsdon tonight, it looks like Poole are heading for another final.
Yeah, I think you know, Poole sort of deserve to be there as well, you know, so I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a tough match here tonight, because we all want to beat, you know, we all want a bit of silverware. I mean, I ain't had none in my whole career, really, so it'd be nice to sort of fetch something along the line, but there you go. And
because you're celebrating 10 years of that career next week, so a star-studded lineup, and we think you've added the world champion to your lineup, we understand.
That's right, yeah, Crumpy agreed a couple of days ago, so that's nice, and obviously Chris and Scott are coming along, and you know, I've got a nice little field assembled down there for next Friday, so hopefully the weather will be kind and we'll have a good night.
All right, well, have a good night tonight, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah,
Oh, I wonder if he will enjoy his evening tonight as we take a look at the AF stock taking Hammers at number 1. It is the redoubtable Mark Lorham, needs no introduction around here, of course, at number 2, Paul Hurry, and we know that he rode, of course, here last season, but less than happy time for him. Josh Larson at number 3, he's enjoyed his year back with the Hammers, and there's almost certain to be with them again next year. Dean Barker, well, he's not with the Hammers here this season, as we heard. Adam Shields is coming to replace Dino, who's got a stomach upset. Rowan Pavashni, rider replacement for him at number 5. At number 6 it is the captain Lee Lanham, and at number 7 the Polish champion Gregor Zvalasek. Over to the Ipswich Evening Star Witches at number 1. It is Hans Anderson. What a terrific season it's been for him this year. Hopeful of a wild card spot in next year's Brawn Prix Series, having finished 9th in the final standings. Danny Bird, he rides at number 2. One of the reasons they've had such a good year. And Jesper B. Jensen at number 3 really has been a terrific season for Ipswich. They had a magnificent win last night at Arena, as Kevin explained to us. Chris Louis, he rides at number 4. He scored paid 8 last evening. Scotty Nichols at number 5. The captain at number 6, it is Daniel King. And at number 7, Kim Jansen. It's a pretty cold evening here tonight. Certainly the coldest since way back the start of the season, way back March the 18th against Peterborough. We're now the 7th of October, so it's certainly had a lot more action for the Vauxhall faithful this year than last, when the season finished, I think, something like September the 4th. It was a dreadful year last season, but not this year, and with a knockout cup place in the final beckons for Ipswich here this evening. They've got a 3-point lead from the first leg last night. Heat number 1 up, fly the tape. Anderson, Danny Bird, Mark Lorham, Paul Hurry, and well, it is Mark Lorham who's made a good start, but here comes the rider, Danny Bird, he tried to come around the outside, but Laramsky, he holds him off. Danny Bird is in second place, although in fact, well, he's had a bit of a slide off there. And Anderson in second now, Paul Hurry is in third. So it is a heat advantage for the visitors then. And well, this could reduce the gap to just a single point. play the Hammers. They lost by 3 points last night on their home track. The right in your picture, Mark Lorham, he scored paid 12, the same as Lee Lanham for Arena. Paul Hurry scored paid 10, those are the main scorers for the home side. And for Ipswich, Hans Anderson in second place in this one. He scored a magnificent 13 points, just beaten once in his fourth outing by two riders who are in this race against him, Mark Lorham and Paul Hurry. The Hanser is going to settle for second place in this one as Arena close to within a point on aggregate. Mark Lorham winning the race from Hans Anderson in second. Third place does go to Paul Hurry. Bit of a fall off there for Danny Bird. Arena, they've been here a couple of times this season and they've gone down to 57-38 defeat and a 49-41 reversal as well, so the odds are most definitely with Ipswich, but the Hammers, well, they got off to a good start in heat number 1, 59.8 the winning time. They closed to within a point on aggregate. As we come on to heat number 2 then, and this one, let's see Daniel King coming out in red, Kim Jansen is in blue, in green we got Lee Lanham, joint top scorer last night, captain of course for Arena, now that Kelvin Tatum has had to retire, although the word is that Kelvin will be appearing for Lee in his testimonial meeting. The last time I see Kelvin on Speedway track, but he had a very long career indeed, highly successful, especially in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. Gregors Balasek, he comes out in yellow and black, hasn't been able to recapture his form for Arena as he has it on the continent. Heat number 2 is underway. And into that first turn, well, it is Balasek in fact who has made a good start down the back straight from Daniel King in second. Kim Jansen is in third. Lee Lanham, he's at the back in this one. So the Polish champion, it is who leads the way, Gregors Balasek. He only scored paid 5 last night at Purfleet. He really, well, it seems he's got a bit of a phobia about the Arena circuit. He's certainly not been able to score any major points over the last couple of months of the season, having started off the year so well for them. Road started at number 1, but he's gone backwards really since June, July time. He's done very well in Poland, crowned the Polish champion a couple of months ago, and he's leading heat number 2 here this evening. So Arena, well, it's certainly starting off well. Daniel King having a few problems here in second place. Kim Jansen in third. Lee Lanham, well, with him at the back, it's going to be a shared heat. Balasek wins it from the two Ipswich riders. 62.4, a slow winning time for Gregors, but he won't be worried about that in the least. He gets 3 points alongside his name. Now it means overall Ipswich still lead by 1 point, 51 to 40, trailing by a couple on the night. On to race number 3, Josh Larson. He comes out off gate number 1, has enjoyed his spells, we said earlier, in the Sky Bet Elite League this year, and he's going to be staying over in this country during the winter, first ever winter, so let's hope it's not a cold one for Josh and his family's sake. We've got Josh off gate number 1, gate 2 sees Chris Louis, gate 3 sees Adam Shields in for Dean Barker. From the outside is Jesper B. Jensen. Jesper and Chris, well, they scored a 5-1 in heat number 3 last night at Purfleet, and they're going to so many of those this year, of course. Can they help steady the witches' nerves here? With a 5-1 here, perhaps. Heat number 3 gets underway into that first turn, and well, it is Jesper B. Jensen off gate number 4 who's made an excellent start. He's come across to lead the way, and Chris Louis has joined him as well. Adam Shields is in third, the American. Josh Larson, he's had such a productive spell in the reserve berth for Arena over the last month or so. He's also suffered broken bones in his foot that's meant he's missed a few meetings, but he's at the back in this one. Doesn't always travel so well away from home, and he's struggling in heat number 3. Adam Shields, he's trying to put some pressure on Chris Louis, but he locked up there on that second bend, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty comfortable 5-1 for the Evening Star Witches. So we say that, in fact, Jensen will eat his problems there. Track positions obviously catching the riders out a little bit, but it's going to be Jesper B. who wins heat number 3 as he takes the checkered flag. Second spot goes to Chris Louis, third place to Adam Shields, a 5-1 to the home side then, 61.4 the winning time. They move into the lead on the night by a couple, and they also extend their lead overall. That's the most important score, 56 points to 51 on aggregate. So they really have been the engine room of the side for Ipswich. God, they're so lucky not to made it through to the playoff final. That epic against Wolverhampton. They haven't had a home meeting since then, of course. Went to Wolves and came, what were they? Managed a magnificent draw in the playoff semi-final, but it was the Midlanders who went through following Michael Max's defeat of Hans Andersen in the run-off, and it didn't sit too well with some of the Ipswich fans. Looking back, perhaps it should have been 2 riders from each team in a run-off. Certainly makes more sense being a team sport, of course not an individual, but that's done and dusted now. I have to wait till next year before Ipswich can possibly lift the Elite League. Certainly got a team more than capable of doing so. Can they lift the Knockout Cup this season? Still that to race for. It looks like they're going to mix Paul in the final as heat number 4 gets underway. Scott Nichols, Tim Jansen, Paul Hurry, rider replacement, and Greg Balasek. And well, in fact, it is Balasek who's come through into second place. Hot shot, Scotty Nichols it is who leads the way. Now Paul Hurry's been put under some pressure by Jansen, but Paul, he managed to keep ahead of the young Swede. The Paul Rias Pirates, they thrashed at Swindon last night, same time that Ipswich was defeating Arena. Paul beat Swindon by 31 points to almost certainly book their place in the final. There's a bit of a race going on for third here between Paul Hurry and Tim Jansen, and it is still the Arena number 2 who's holding off Tim. Of course, Paul has struggled with an arm injury all this season, missed the first few weeks of the season following a track crash he sustained last year, or grass track accident. And Scott Nichols comes across the line, he wins it from Balasek, who started brightly tonight, 5 points from 2 rides, a point for Paul Hurry in third, a shared heat then. Ipswich still maintain their 5-point lead, 59 to 54, 60.9 Scott's winning time. But the Hammers, certainly say, giving Ipswich plenty to think about over the opening few heats. But Scott, he becomes the second race winner for Ipswich. As we move on to heat number 5, and that's the first of the race winners for the home side, Jesper B. Jensen. He comes out off gate number 1 in this one. Off gate number 2 we've got Paul Hurry, so Paul's third ride in the opening 5 heats. Gate number 3, that sees Chris Louis, and from the outside is Mark Lorem. Mark has had so many epic battles with Chris over the years. Will this be another one? Mick Bates, the referee in charge here this evening. It's a bit cold at John Fitch, the start marshal. He's got his gloves on. Certainly it's pretty late to be running the Knockout Cup second leg of the semi-final. Still the final to fit in, of course. As heat number 5, it's about to get underway. Up fly the tape, and who's thrown out of the start? Well, it is Jensen and Chris Lurie in first and second. Mark Lauren did not make a good start. He's coming around the outside of Hurry now. He moves through in the third place, but it is Chris Louis and yes would be Jensen who leads the way from Mark Lauren back in third. And this is good news that this pairing for Ipswich, so they had a 5-1 in heat number 3. And can they repeat it in heat number 5? Mark Lauren it is who's in pursuit. Paul Hurry, he's at the back. Jensen, he's riding mid-track. Chris Louis made a good start. A couple of laps to go. And a 5-1 would certainly do Ipswich a power of good. Although Jensen, well, he's just locked up there. He did it on the last lap of his first race, and he's done it in heat number 5. And when Mark Lawrence behind you, you can't get away with mistakes like that. Chris Louis, he still leads the way. And if he looks behind us, see that it's his great buddy and rival Mark Lawrence in second place. It is going to be a heat advantage for Ipswich. They were hoping for a 5-1, but they have to settle for a 3-all. Chris wins it from Mark. Third place goes to Jesper B. He'll be disappointed with that mistake, but no disgrace in being beaten by the Arena number 1. 60.8 Luby's winning time. It is a heat advantage for Ipswich, and they do extend their lead on overall 63 points now to 56. As we come on to heat number 6 then, and the lineup for this one, where we got Adam Shields off gate number 1. Just look at those helmet colours that he wears, famed for them. Gate number 2, that sees Danny Bird. Gate number 3 brings out Lee Lanham, ran a last in his first ride, won't be pleased with that. And from the outside it is Hans Anderson, he's beaten by Mark Loram in his first ride. Hasn't suffered too many defeats in heat number 1 this season. Ipswich number 1, and it doesn't look like he's going to suffer defeat here because he leads away. In fact, Danny Bird, where he's taken a bit of a tumble there, and the referee Mick Bates, where he's going to stop the race. Bit of contact between he and Adam Shields, and Mick Bates, where he's decreed that it will be a rerun with all 4 riders. Classic case of first Ben Bunch in there, and we're just working on the bikes in the pits area. As you can see, that's in the arena side of the pits, and panning across to the Ipswich camp. Really have got a terrific team spirit, have the Witches. And we'll just look at the crowd. The crowds, they've been remarkably good this year. Of course, it always does help when the team is successful, but they really have had some fine crowd. Would have been a massive one, of course, if they made it through to the Sky Bet Elite League playoff final, but unfortunately not to be. Wolverhampton, of course, well, they hosted Poole on Monday, and they went down to a 8-point defeat at home, so it's almost certain that Poole are going to be crowned the Sky Bet Elite League champions. Second leg coming up next Monday, as we wait for the riders to come out for the restart and rerun of heat number 6. And well, they've got the Dolly Birds there on the start line, going through their routine to keep warm. Now, it's certainly a bit different from the routine that the girls did with the Scott Nichols testimonial meeting. It certainly was a sight to behold. It seems a long while ago now, of course, 24th of July. It's very hot that day, very cold here this evening. So we're going with the rerun of heat number 6. It gets underway, and Hans Anderson has made a good start from the outside. Adam Shields is holding on to second momentarily. Here comes Danny Bird, it's very close, but Shields has just got the beating of him. Lee Lanham, well, once more, he's in last place, so it's another heat advantage for the home side, and this would move them 9 points in front on aggregate as Hans Anderson leads the way. Adam Shields, well, he's grateful, no doubt, for some extra bookings. Of course, Eastbourne season having finished on a bit of a damp squib with a challenge match against Poole, falling victim to the weather a couple of weeks ago. They did peter out somewhat after their defeat by Ipswich here in the playoff quarter-final. They had there by 16 points, of course, 2.5 weeks ago. There's Hans Anderson, he's going to come round and secure his first win of the evening. He takes the checkered flag ahead of Shields in second, Danny Bird in third. Lee Lanham, the arena captain, he's struggling here this evening. No points from his first 2 rides, 61 seconds the winning time. A 4-2 for Ipswich, their second in a row. And they now move 9 points clear overall. As we move on to race 7 then, and this one brings out Scotty Nichols off gate number 1. looked in great form in his first ride. Gate number 2, that sees Josh Larson. He struggled in his first ride, finishing at the back. Daniel King is off gate 3. A second and a paid, or rather just a second place for him so far from his one ride. And Adam Shields, he gets 2 in a row. 3 points for Adam. Arena, can they hit back in this one? Number 7 is underway, and from the outside Adam Shields has made a great start, and he leads down the back straight from Scott Nichols in second. Daniel King is in third. Josh Larson, he finds himself at the back once again, but what a start that was by Adam Shields. He really did come across the other 3 riders. It was perfectly fair piece of riding, but he came across very quickly indeed. Not often that Scotty Nichols is led out of the start around here, but he's settling for second place. I don't think there's going to be any way past for him. Adam Shields it is who leads the way, just going out to quite close to the safety fence. Of course, no air fence here at Arena. The only track in the Elite League where it doesn't have one, following the problems they had in the early season matches. Chances are we will have the air fence, modified air fence, back here for 2005. As Adam Shields, he wins heat number 7 from Nichols in second. Daniel King is in third. Larson, he's struggling as well, same as Lee Latham. He finishes at the back. 62.3 seconds of winning time. As Ipswich, they still maintain their 9-point lead. Overall 6 points up on the night, so the Hammers can't bring out any tactical rides or even tactical substitutes so far this evening. Team manager Ronnie Russell, his hands are tied to an extent. As we move on to heat number 8, and this one which sees Kim Janssen coming out of gate number 1. Gate number 2, that sees Gregors Valasek. Gate number 3, Danny Bird. Full third for Danny so far. And from the outside it is Paul Hurry. A couple of third places for the former Ipswich rider. And a very successful time on the grass as late as Paul. 1, 2 or 3 pretty big grass track meetings. There's the riders settling down at the start line. Heat number 8, it's about to get underway as they come out of the start. Now it is the Ipswich pair who've made good gates. In fact, there's a tumble there for Paul Hurry. He's come down, and the referee Mick Bates, well, he's going to have to, he's put the red lights on. And well, another case there of first Ben bunching. And Danny Bird, well, he just helped Paul to the ground there. But so just the old domino effect. And as Paul, well, he's perfectly okay as you can see, so he'll be able to take his place in the rerun as you can see. As we get ready for it. Ipswich still 6 points in front on the night, 9 points up on aggregate. John Fitchery's just telling Valasek to move over slightly there. Still don't seem any great rush to get this restart of heat number 8 underway. We're ready now though, as the riders go into that first turn, and well, it's the Ipswich pair who lead the way. All sorts of problems there for Kim Janssen. The race, well, it does continue, but Janssen, well, he's got in all sorts of problems, locking up, but doing well to stay on his bike. Maybe a bit of contact between one of the Arena riders, but his net result is he finds himself at the back. But the good news is that his teammate Danny Bird is held in first place, with Paul Hurry having dusted himself down. He's in second spot. Valasek back in third. It's another shared heat. They are fourth in the opening 8 races, pretty tight between the two teams, just as it was last night at Arena. The meeting, well, it almost ground to a halt after heat number 9. Terrific shower, but thankfully the weather did abate and was able to continue with the meeting. The Hammers, they were 6 points down at that stage, but then fought back well to get within a point going into the final race. But Hans Anderson and Scotty Nichols scored a 4-2 to give him a 3-point win, and Danny Bird, well, he gets a win now in heat number 8. But with Kim Jansen having all sorts of problems at the back, it's still 9 points between the two teams on aggregate, 61.5. That was Danny's winning time, and with his best ride of the night, he takes the victory in race 8. As we get ready for the 9th heat then, and this one where it sees Chris Louis coming out of gate number 1. He started off very well indeed, unbeaten after his first 2 rides. Gate number 2, that sees Mark Loram, ride replacement outing for him. So Roman Pavashny, he's out for the rest of the season, what's left of it. Of course, he took a bit of a bad tumble in his home country, Russia, and he's been advised not to ride for the rest of the year. Certainly did make a good impact with the arena management in his short spell. Very bubbly character, Roman, but unfortunately he's going to miss out the last couple of weeks of the season. So Mark Loram comes in, ride replacement off gate number 2. Gate number 3 sees Jesper B. Jensen, beaten by Loramsky last time out. Gate 4, it is Lee Lanham. No points in his first 2 rides, if he wanted to change that in this one. And when Mark Loram has made the gate, he's taken a look over to see if his teammates behind him, but no, he is not. Lee Lanham once more is in last place. Jensen is in second. Chris Louis, he's back in third. So the unbeaten Ipswich rider, met some hopes. Look like they're going to disappear here, but well, I don't think he'll be too worried about that. He'll be just pleased to see Ipswich get through to the Knockout Cup final as Mark Loram leads the way. A couple of laps gone. Loramsky, of course, had such a great season for Arena, averaging nearly 10 points per match, but he's had an absolute disaster for himself in the Grand Prix this year. Now it does look as if he's going to disappear from the Grand Prix scene. The 2000 World Champion, certainly a major loss to the Grand Prix circus. So let's hope that the powers that be do give a couple of wild cards to, well, obviously Scotty Nichols and probably Lee Richardson. I don't think Mark will be granted one after his awful year in that series, but he's safe, been very good domestically, and he's won heat number 9 from Jensen and Louis. Lee Lanham, 3 rides, 3 last place. He'll be hugely disappointed with his efforts here this evening. 61.3 the winning time, and still 9 points between the two teams overall. As we move on to heat number 10, and there's race number 8's winner, Danny Bird. He comes out off gate number 1. Adam Shields is off gate number 2. They take the place of Dean Barker, who doesn't all really shine that well around this track, so well, maybe it's a blessing for Arena, but he cried off with a stomach upset. Adam Shields has got 6 points so far from his 3 rides. He's off gate number 2 in this one. Hans Anderson comes out off gate number 3, won his last ride from the outside. Josh Larson, another rider not to score a point so far from his 2 rides. The American, he needs to get something out of this if Arena are going to stand any chance of causing a major upset here and making it through to the Knockout Cup final. Ipswich will say they'd love to get through to see what they can do against Paul, as they came so desperately close to racing against them in the playoff for the Elite League title. Heat number 10 is underway, and it is Hans Anderson who leads from Josh Larson, having his best ride of the night. Danny Bird is in third. Adam Shields having just won his last ride in heat number 8, heat number 7 rather. He finds himself at the back in heat number 10, but Hans Anderson it is who leads the riders. Pretty evenly spaced out, a couple of laps to go. It is the Dane in first place, Josh Larson in second spot. Josh, as I say, he's going to stay in this country during the winter. Now he's going to be riding in the indoor meetings. He's down to ride in the Brighton Bonanza 8 I believe it is. That really is amazing. The 8th season, 8th year that we've been filming that meeting. And also be riding the Telford Ice Spectacular, their 20th season. And we're filming there as well as Hans Anderson. He wins heat number 10 from Larson in second, Danny Bird in third, Adam Shields a surprise in last. 61.8, that was Hans' winning time. It means Ipswich, where they're edging closer to a place in the Knockout Cup final, 80 points to 69 on aggregate. That's the lead with 5 heats remaining. As we move on to race number 11, Paul Hurry comes out off gate number 1. Second place in his last ride. Gate number 2 sees Scotty Nichols, a win in a second for him. Gate number 3 sees Mark Lorman. You can see he's taking a tactical ride in this one, with the Hammers having fallen 8 points behind on aggregate. On the evening. 11 points behind on aggregate. So Ronnie Russell bringing in one of his big guns, or one of his big guns out for this one. His point's going to count double. Maybe now one race could change the course of a tie. Paul Hurry, he comes out playing off gate number 1. Gate number 4, it is Daniel King. Chances for Arena perhaps in this one as the heat gets underway, and Mark Lorem off gate number 3 has made a good start. Scotty Nichols and Daniel King were there in second and third. A great ride this by young Daniel, holding off Paul Hurry. So Arena, well, they're doing well with their tactical ride. Mark Lorem's on for 6 points here, but with Paul Hurry at the back, that's negated it to some extent. They will still perhaps get a 6-3, and that will close the gap to 8 points overall as Mark comes in to start lap number 3. He's suffered the 1 defeat so far this evening by Chris Louis. He's beating Scotty Nichols. Daniel King, meanwhile, he's doing very, very well to hold off Paul Hurry as they come in to start the final lap. Paul, if he can get up into third place, it would be a 7-2 for Arena, but Daniel, will he just hold him off at the moment as they go down the back straight for the final time. The crowd, where they're urging on young Daniel to keep Paul at bay. It looks like he's going to be able to do that. Mark Lauren wins it from Scotty Nichols, and Daniel King, well, he does hold off Paul Hurry. A terrific third place for Daniel. He really has had some great rides for Ipswich this year. So very unlucky, of course, in the playoff final when he had that shed chain in heat number 14. All ifs and buts, of course, in Speedway, but that was an awful moment for Daniel and the Ipswich management, riders and fans. 61.2. Mark Lorem's winning time in that one. A 6-3 for the visitors. Now they only trail by 8 overall. As we move on to race number 12, and this one where it brings out Lee Lanham off gate number 1. It's a disastrous night for him. No points from 3 rides. Gate number 2, that sees Jesper B. Jensen. Jesper, he's had a win, a third and a second so far. Gate 3 sees Josh Larson. 2 points in his last ride. And from the outside, it is Kim Jansen. He's looking good in his third outing until he locked up coming out the second bend. So this race it could go any way really. Arena pair though, they have had 5 lasts out of 6 between them so far. So perhaps the odds favouring Ipswich. Heat number 12 is about to get underway. Jensen, Larson, Lanham, the race kit does start. And into that first turn, well, it is pretty close indeed. Jensen coming around the outside with 2 Arena riders in second and third. Lee Lanham and Josh Larson. Kim Jansen, he's at the back, so shared heat at the moment. Jensen it is who leads the way then from Lee Lanham, and his best ride of the night. He's in second place. Josh Larson, he's holding on to third ahead of Kim Jansen. So really, this would favour Ipswich if they can get a 3-all in this one. 8 points up with just 4 races to go. As Jansen, well, you can be sure that he won't give up as he goes down the back straight. In fact, Larson, well, he's locked up, and Jansen has come through in the third place. The crowd roar their approval, and this will be a 4-2 for the home side. And this will see them move 10 points in front on the night. On aggregate, got 7 points up on the night, and that would almost certainly put their place through to the Knockout Cup final. They're almost certain to face face Paul, as Janssen wins his second race of the night. Lee Lanham scores his first points of the night. Kim Janssen in an excellent third place, getting the better of Josh Larson. The Witches almost through to the final. 62 seconds the winning time. And an excellent ride there by the Dane. 9 points from his 4 rides. Another productive evening for him. So that's almost sealed the Evening Star Witches' place in the final. As Jesper and Kim are going round on a lap of honour. And I say the big crowd on the first bend cheering them all the way round, no doubt. That's almost done it for the Suffolk outfit. As we move on to heat number 13 then, and can Ipswich mathematically sew it up in this one? We've got Hans Anderson coming out in red. In blue is Scotty Nichols. In green we've got Mark Lorem, and in yellow and black, ride replacement for Roman Pravashny, it is Greg Balasek. So Ipswich were 3-all really would do it for them. I think they say 7 points up on the night, and that would prevent Arena from using a tactical rider in heat 14. 10-point lead, 2 heats remaining, and that will certainly see them through. Again, the riders are not in too much of a hurry. It's a pretty cold night here this evening. Thought they'd want to get this meeting done and dusted, but they don't seem to be in too much of a rush. As John Fitch really tries to get the riders up to the line. Heat 13 then. Ipswich leading by 10 on aggregate. Hans Anderson, Scott Nichols, Mark Long, Greg Balasek. The race is underway, and into that first turn, well, it is the Ipswich pair who lead the way, and surely this is going to see them go through to the Knockout Cup final, where they will face Paul most likely, as Hans Anderson leads the way from Scotty Nichols in second. Mark Lorimer through in the third place. In fact, Nichols, well, he's had engine failure, and that's bad news for him, but it still will be good enough. I think a 3-all in this one for Ipswich to go through. They looked like they were going to do it in style, but the mechanical problems for Scotty Nichols continue. He's had a few of them this season. There's Hans Anderson, where he's going to come around and start the final lap. You can see 10, 12, 15 bike lengths in front of Mark Lorem, and this is going to book Ipswich's place through to the final. A 3-all will be good enough for them. So Ipswich, well, they're going to have a chance to get one over the potential Elite League playoff champions, the Paul Pirates. They are almost certainly going to meet them in the final. A great night for Ipswich. They've done a professional job here this evening. Hans Anderson, the race winner in heat 13. Lorem finishing in second. Greg Balasek, a bit fortunate to get paid for 2 in third in that one. That's Hans, and now he goes round to receive the applause. Which is, well, I think they're in the Knockout Cup final. They've been in it once since their fantastic green team year of 1998. They were in it in 2000 or somewhere around about there, and Peterborough, the Panthers beat them over the 2 legs. Heat number 14. Chris Louis comes out in red in this one. Daniel King is in blue. Adam Shields is in green. No mistaking, is the helmet colour. And Greg Balasek, he comes out in yellow and black. 2 on the trot for Greg Ords. Arena. Well, they've obviously tried their best here this evening, but they just haven't really had the strength in depth. They haven't had enough race winners. Mark Lauren, well, he's won 3 heats. Craig Balasek has won 1, and Adam Shields has won a race as well, but they've struggled. Paul Hurry, Josh Larson and Lee Lanham, they've all struggled to some extent here this evening. Need to be firing on all cylinders, going to cause an upset of the magnitude required here at Ipswich, having lost by 3 points at home last night. The Witches having seen off at Eastbourne, they've now seen off Arena, and they see off Paul. See what happens here in heat number 14. Chris Louis made a good start off gate number 4, but Adam Shields has just beaten him to it. Although here comes Louis around the outside, and he's moved through in the first place. Daniel King is in third. So can he claim another notable scalp here? That of the Polish champion, Rick Balasek. Looks like he can at the moment, because he's in fact he's challenging Adam Shields for second place. Is young Daniel, one of the riders who certainly has developed this year and has benefited from going straight into the Elite League. John Louis, of course, we certainly saw a lot of potential in young Daniel, and that potential certainly could be fulfilled with the Suffolk side. A couple of laps gone. Chris Louis it is. He's heading towards his second win of the night. It's been another terrific evening for the Ipswich legend. Looks like he's going to only suffer 1 defeat here this evening. Could come out in heat number 15 as well. As Louis, he takes the checkered flag ahead of Adam Shields in second. A magnificent third place there for young Daniel. Balasek fails to score for the first time tonight. 62.1, that was Chris's winning time. And the Witches, they now extend their lead to 12 points on the evening. Sorry, overall. 9 points up on the night. And Chris and Daniel also being sent round on the stock car track. And night of celebration for Ipswich. I wonder if it will be when Paul come to town. Chances are it's probably going to be in a couple of weeks' time. As well, in fact, we're down on the centre green. We've got a presentation there to John, I think, or from John. Oh, well, Magda down there as well. And so Steve Waller getting the pictures. Members of the supporters club there. As we get ready for the final race then, and the lineup, well, no guessing, that one in green, Adam Shields, of course, he comes out of gate number 1. Gate number 2, that sees Jesper B. Jensen. Gate number 3 sees Mark Loram, and from the outside is Hans Andersen. They've suffered just 1 defeat so far this evening. Mark's just suffered a couple. Jesper B, well, he's scored 9 from 4, and Adam Shields, he's had a mixed bag. Paid 6 from his, well, paid 8 from his 5 rides. So I guess for the Hammers getting an extra outing doesn't often happen, but that's who Ronnie Russell was plumped for. Number 15 then, up Slider takes the final time here this evening, and with his Hans Andersen off gate number 4, who's made a brilliant start. Mark Long going with him around the outside. Adam Shields is in third. Jesper B. Jensen, he's at the back in the final heat, but his teammate Hans Andersen is who leads the way. Complete lap number 1, and it is the main Dane in the, or one of the main Danes in the Ipswich side. Hans Andersen, who's held in first place for both the Hans and Jesper have been Grand Prix riders this year. Hans has had a much more successful year than Jesper. Well, yes, Louise done extremely well for the Witches, having been out of British Speedway for 2 or 3 seasons. Come back magnificently well this year. As Hans Anderson, well, what a great season he's had with the Witches. One of the reasons that they have been close to the top of the Elite League table all season, and one of the reasons why they made it through to the Knockout Cup final. He's going to win his 4th race in a row. 2nd place goes to Mark Loram, 3rd spot to Adam Shields, just ahead of Jensen. We finish with a 3-all in heat number 15 then. A 51-42 win for Ipswich, and they go through on aggregate by 97 points to 84-5. Well done to the team. As Hans comes around on the lap of honour, we'll give you this evening's scorers, starting with the AF stock taking hammers. Mark Loram, well, he did magnificently well. He scored 18 points from 6 rides. No maximum, of course, because 3 of those points were in that tactical ride in heat number 11. But still great effort by him. 3 wins, 3 second places. Paul Hurry struggled a bit. 4 and 1 from his 5 outings. Josh Larson, he scored just 2 points from his 4. He won't be pleased with that. Adam Shields did well, guessed in 9 and 1. Lee Lanham, he did not. He only scored a couple from his 4 rides. As Hans continues on his lap of his wheelies show. Greg Balasek, he did well early on. 7 and 2 from his 5 rides. And the Ipswich Evening Star, which is, well, Hans Anderson in your picture, a magnificent 14 points, just that 1 defeat by Mark Loram in heat number 1, but got the beating of the former world champion in heats 13 and 15 to atone for that defeat. Danny Bird, well, Hansy's still out there. Danny Bird, he finished with 5 points from his 4 rides. Jesper B. Jensen, 9 points from his 5 rides. Chris Louis, he did very well indeed, 9 and 2 bonus. And Jesper, well, he must be getting out of breath by now, surely. Still going. 9 and 2 for Chris from his 4 outings. Scotty Nichols, well, he scored 7 points. And that engine failure went on a 5-1 in heat number 13. Daniel King, well, he did very well indeed. 5 and 2 bonus from his 4 outings. It was a great display by him. And Kim Janssen, he didn't have such a good night, did Kim, but he allowed 1 or 2 poor ones, just 2 and 1 from his 4 rides, as Hans Willis just received the Rider of the Night award from tonight's sponsors. Well done to him for that, as the home side come out on their victory parade vehicle then, after their win here this evening. So they could go somewhere making up for that huge disappointment of going out to Wolverhampton in the Knockout Cup semi-final. If they could lift the playoff semi-final, if they could win the Knockout Cup final, they're through to it. And we've just heard from Swindon, in fact, that Poole have made it through pretty comfortably by 101 to 83 on aggregate, so it will be an Ipswich Poole final. Promised to be a cracker. We'll be there, we hope you will be as well. In the meantime, as the Ipswich riders go round on a well-deserved lap of honour, we're going to the pits, no doubt, and join Kevin.
Right, here we are then, the end of this pulsating Knockout Cup semi-final. The Evening Star, which is 51, the Arena Essex Hammers 42. And with us, scoring paid 10, Jesper B. Jensen, a cup final to look forward to. That's good.
Yeah, it's another 2 meetings, you know. It's just the wrong time of the year because it's bloody cold.
Well, it is, but so more than makes up for the disappointment of the going out of the Elite League at Wolverhampton. But Arena Essex put up a good fight though tonight.
Yeah, they did a better fight than I expected, you know. So I think we really have to look out after Poole, because they're going good at the moment, and they're definitely strong at home. So you know, when I think it's gonna Poole anyway.
Well, I would have thought so.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard.
So we're gonna have a week off next week. Do you think that's gonna disadvantage us?
Nah, we must be more hungry then.
Yeah, and say Poole, they've got their second leg of their championship next Monday. So, like you said, they've hit form just the right time.
Exactly.
And but the Witches, they're more than capable. We've had some good results at Poole, and having the second leg helps us.
Yeah, I think so. You know,
I don't think it matters that much which way you go first. You know, it's home or away, or you know, we still have to win good at home and not lose so much at away. So I don't think it makes a bigger a difference. But you know, we still have to keep our head down and go for it.
But even from the first wheel of this season, I mean, this Ipswich team has looked like a team that was destined to win something. So it'd be a travesty if we didn't do just that.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get the cup at least.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, we'll let you go and warm up if you're a little bit chilly. Go and have a hot shower and a hot toddy, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Definitely will.
Thank you very much. That's Jesper Buensen, of course, and celebrating his paid 10 points here tonight. The Witches doing it in fine style in the end, 51 to the Witches, 42 to the Hammers. But to say the Hammers got stuck in earlier on, and say certainly bolstered by the appearance of Adam Shields. But say all the Witches really doing the business. Hans Anderson scooping the Evening Star Man of the Match award. So that's it. No action here at Vauxhall next week. We're back in a fortnight's time with, yes, the Cup final. So why not join us again on Rerun Video? Goodbye.